Hello, my name is Henry Mitz, and today I'm going to be showing you how to prove the quadratic formula. So let's say you have a quadratic equation up there, and then you try to solve for x. Eventually, when you solve for x, that's going to give you the quadratic formula. Today I'm going to be showing you how I got there. So we're going to solve for x. Let's divide everything by a. We want to get rid of that term in front of the x squared. So then we're left with x squared plus b over ax plus c over a equals 0. Now that we have x squared plus b over ax plus c over a equals 0, we're basically going to minus c over a the other side. We can just do this right here. C over a. Now we're basically already solving this by completing the square. So what completing the square is basically adding something to that middle expression, which would be this middle expression, and making it, and then squaring it so that you get a number, and then when you simplify that left side of the equation, it'll be basically it'll be easier to simplify it. Right, so we're going to divide that middle term by 1/2, because dividing by 1/2 is the same as dividing by 2. So we get, oops, wrong color. We get b, because b times 1 is b. Then we get a times 2 is 2a over 2. Then we add that same thing to the other side. Get a b over 2. Oh man, it's messy. Get b over 2a. Hold on. There we go. Now we're going to use some properties of exponents for this term right here. What we're going to do is basically b squared, right, b squared, 2 times 2 squared, 2 to the power 2, that's 4, this is a squared. So I basically just use the property of exponents to get this answer. Now there, I can make, if we're adding these two fractions, I can make this right here the common denominator. So we have plus something here, denominator. Now since we divided by 4a, since we divided this denominator by multiplied this denominator, if we wanted to get a common denominator, and we multiplied 4a times a to get 4a squared for that common denominator, so we have to multiply 4a to the top side with negative c, and you get 4a times negative c, you get negative 4a c plus b squared over 4a squared equals, so we're done with that side, with the right side. Now this can be simplified into x plus b over 2a squared. Now I just moved it, from the other page. So now from here, this should start to look familiar, and we're going to take the square root of both sides of the equation, and what we'll get is what we'll get. When we do it, we'll get rid of that 2, so we get x plus b over 2a equals the square root, and this should look very familiar, b squared minus 4ac, and I'm just switching it around because that's the way to do it. And you get 4a squared, and oops, and the square root of 4 is just 2, right? 2a squared. And then what we do next, the final solution is you minus this, b over 2a, right? Cancel that out, you get negative b over 2a, also plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Oh, I'm sorry about that. This just becomes 2a because, you know, it's the opposite of this. When you take the square root of 2a squared, or 4a squared, it just becomes 2a. So now that you have this 2a cancels out with this. And then what do you get? Well, I'll tell you what you get. You get x, let's write it in big letters. You get x equals negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Alright. And that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed. My pleasure as always.